Hey guys, ArtisanTony. Who's that? Barrett. Yes, I have my faithful cohort with me, Barrett.
Yep.
My son Barrett, also known as Insane Drummer 89. In case you don't know, Barrett writes the music for my channel. He's done the he also performs it. He's done the intro music, and currently he's working on, he and I both are working on a concept together of, should I give it away, or should I guess it'll be alright, nobody's going to steal my idea. It's an 8K rock and roll video, and you're supposed to be working on the drum track. Holy cow. Yeah, we're during the business day here. It's back, holidays are over, and time to try to get back to work. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this issue of price gouging and trying to get people to approach things without emotion. You know, a long time ago I set my personal standards based on the libertarian philosophy, and you know, I don't get emotional about things. That's sort of one thing I try not to do. The only way to remain objective really is to not get emotional about things. So take the cheaper than dirt issue. Barrett, in case you didn't know, cheaper than dirt, when they first heard about the gun ban legislation, they jacked their prices up like double.
Oh yeah.
And but if I had, and I did go check out cheaper than dirt, but I looked at their prices and said, oh, that's too expensive, I'll go someplace else. I didn't jump up and down and scream like a girl and you know, go make a video and cry about it. You know, it's just one of those things, mainly because of my values, my standards. I am a excuse me, I'm pro-capitalism, pro-free markets, pro-business, and that's very difficult. Let's see if I can straighten up the camera. That's very difficult in this day and age because a lot of young people are being taught and are being exposed to anti-business and anti-capitalism, and it's just sort of the scheme of the day. Most people don't have a whole set of values that covers a philosophy. So, and to talk about gouging specifically, in my mind, gouging, and I know there's a definition for gouging, but let's be practical. Let's take some common sense approach. Another thing that's missing in our society is common sense. If I was the let's say that I had a big lake and that was the last source of water in the world, and I was trying to charge $1 million a gallon for water, that's gouging. Now, since you can buy water on any street corner, in any store, or you can get it out of any creek, there are multiple sources for water, okay? So, if I had a lake, and you came to me and said you wanted to buy a gallon of water, and I said that'll be $1 million, you just laugh and go on your way. And you think it's funny, you know, I would. Say, oh, that guy thinks his water's worth $1 million. But again, there, you know, I love Hoss, the Hoss USMC, but he was, last night during a hangout, he was trying to bring some textbook definition of gouging. Well, it's silly, you know. I don't care what the textbook definition of gouging is. What I care about is a deeper philosophy, a deeper standard. And my deeper philosophy about the whole issue, I'm not just a gun nut like some people. The deeper philosophy is free markets You know, freedom for people to choose what they want to do, and freedom for you to buy where you want to buy. You see, if you have freedom, none of this is an issue. If all men are free, and if all businesses are created freely or treated freely, then they can do whatever they want. And some guy was telling me in one of my comments, he said something to me about my business, and I just told him, I said, look, if I meet a customer and they're being an arse about it, you know, A-R-S-E, that's how I cuss in my videos, I don't work for them. I'm not required to work for any customer. I'm not required to sell anything to anybody. And if you look at in the fine print of any store, they're not actually required to sell to you. If you called up cheaper than dirt and started cussing them out, they're not required to sell to you. So it's not, everything in life is a big two-sided coin. And people, especially in the United States, they're so spoiled that they think that the consumer is the only one that has rights. I hate the word right anyway. It's sort of a liberal, you know, you shouldn't have to use the word right in a free society. If all men are free, you don't have to worry about rights, do you? That's the perfect society, right, Barrett? That would be the perfect society. If everyone was free and there was no control over individuals, there would be the word right wouldn't be an issue. The only reason the word right is an issue is because we have people trying to take those away. And that's the only reason. And, well, I don't know. Let me ask you something, Barrett. If you just looked at a drum set for sale, you know, you went to a website and you saw, well, when I was buying your Christmas presents, and you sent me those links, and I was like, Jesus, those are expensive. But I went looking around, and I found out that the prices weren't that high. So I didn't cry and scream like a girl. I said, okay, if this is what I want to buy my son for Christmas, then this is what I'm going to have to pay. This is the fair market value. So, would you do the same thing? I mean, but if you went to a website and you saw they wanted $10,000 for a drum set that you knew was $1,000, would you freak out and call your congressman and make a video about it? And, you wouldn't. You would just go to the next fine website. But it's funny, when it comes to guns, people just freak out. They really do. And what's funny is that gun nuts are the ones that created the market scare in the first place. That's the ironic thing about the whole issue, is that it was people who were afraid of a ban running out to buy guns. So in effect, you know, Dianne Feinstein with her idiocy, she's probably laughing at all the gun nuts who ran out, who didn't even think about the possibility that there were not enough votes in the House of Representatives to get gun legislation put in. Just run out and start buying a bunch of crap, which drove up prices. And you cannot change the laws of economics. The laws of economics are ever as bit as strong as the laws of physics. You cannot change them. The reason they are laws, these are laws of nature. The law of economics is as much a law of nature as it is anything. It's not a written law. It is based on human behavior. And until you change human behavior, you cannot change the laws of economics. So the laws of supply and demand and people's behavior will probably not change. So you see how deep it goes. It's not, and what bugs me is when people, it's just like Occupy. I said this in another video. The Occupy movement, you know, a bunch of whiny arse, A-R-S-E, kids out there bitching and moaning. Did I say the word? I'm sorry. About capitalism. I'm sorry. I think I cussed more when Occupy was hanging around than any time. You know, griping and moaning about capitalism. I just wanted to go out there and just mud wrestle every single one of them, and just, you know, take them out. Just kick their little butt. I don't know. Anyway, because, they had no clue about freedom or, free markets or the free economy. You can't have freedom. People cannot be free without having the ability to have free markets, to be able to create a product, to make a product, to sell it, to make a profit, to barter, to do whatever they want to do. That's called freedom, people. So, anyway, I know. It's funny because I caught some flack about my last video, and I'll catch flack about this one, but it's okay. We all have our things that we love and that make us emotional. But to remain true to your standards, you just have to filter. I have a filter that I run all my thoughts through, and that filter is my philosophy. So when I see something or come across something, I immediately think, okay, what are my personal values, standards, morals, ethics? What is my philosophy? And then I try to, release my response based on that. Because anytime you let emotion get involved, then the emotion itself is a negative force. Really, in either case, if you're ultra happy about something or ultra sad, it's going to have an effect on what you say. So, anyway, can you think of anything else, Barrett?
Just about covers it.
I know these videos are boring, but I had a guy. And I still have people telling me, well, I don't believe in this whole thing of division. I'm not dividing anybody. You're dividing yourself. When you tell me that you're a liberal that loves guns, then you're pushing yourself away from me. Or you know what I mean? It's physics. It's there's energy and forces involved. You have a certain energy and force around you as a liberal, and as a conservative, I have a certain energy and force around me, and those two forces, they don't attract each other. They detract. They repel each other, and that's just the way it is. And that's another sort of another law of nature. You can't change that. That's why certain cultures or certain groups of people don't coexist very well together. They just the cultures repel each other. So that doesn't mean I disrespect other humans if they're liberals. I work for a lot of liberals. I have a lot of friends that are liberals, but we have agreed to disagree on certain things, and we move on. Again, there's no emotion involved. So it's always when you interject the emotion, it's when you have problems.
Here's the exciting stuff right here.
Huh?
You got a wreck.
The exciting stuff? Don't make me lose my train of thought, boy. My train of thought was that it never fails that, that's just a fender bender, good Lord. Don't get excited. It never fails that whenever you lose a friendship or not create a friendship, here we go with physics again, for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. Anytime you gain or lose a friend, it's because you have allowed yourself to look at someone objectively and not enter emotion into it. And that's very true with girls, right, Barrett? Because if you look at a good-looking girl and you let emotion, you let your physical attraction, like you did with your girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's an emotion. So, that screws up some relationships, because after you get to know them, you're like, God, this woman's terrible. She's got great boobs and butt, but she's an idiot, or vice versa. she may be thinking the same thing about you. But anyway, I don't know how we went from gouging to boobs, but it never fails in the gun community. I think one of the things that's funny, just to interject something here, is that some of the people who are complaining about business are making money off of YouTube. And they have a double standard. And they just need to remember that if it weren't for capitalism, you wouldn't be making money off of YouTube, because there would be no Google, and there would be no Google AdSense. So just check your drawers, people. Check your standards. It's easy to be sensational about something to get views, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cry like a girl about price gouging just to get some views from a bunch of liberals. Because you see, that's the people. There aren't any true conservatives out there watching your videos thinking, "Wow, that's great." It's only and maybe that's cool. Maybe you're making money off liberals, and that's cool. But I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna lower my standards, my conservative standards, to bash business or capitalism or any other free thinker thought. So, all right. Well, we're getting near a customer's house, so we got to end this video. But leave your comments below. And this is also another reminder about the call to action giveaway. I'll put a link in the description area. I don't think I have but 4 or 5 responses. I'd like to have about 20. I mean, I'm giving away a couple $100. It'd be nice to have at least 20 responses. So just to make it fun. I know you guys that have already submitted are like, no, 4 or 5 is fine. But anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, even liberals. Thank you very much, and thank you for commenting. And I'll always be respectful when I answer your comments. Just as I said earlier, I want to treat you as I want to be treated. That's the golden rule that I live by. So thanks a lot, guys. Did you learn anything?
Sure did.
Oh, here we go.